All my crypto holders, I have a very important question for you. Have you ever been inside a car where you want to take over, right? Because on the right, there's a car that's not driving the appropriate speed. And in front of you, actually, there's a car that's also like kind of blocking you where you just can't properly overtake. And so you're in the most uncomfortable, annoying situation. Hopefully you guys all understand exactly what I mean. Well, apparently XRP fixes this. And I know David Schwartz wrote it mostly as a joke. This is the CTO of Ripple and the creator, or one of the creators, of the XRP ledger and of XRP. But in reality, one of the main reasons that we're holding is because we're fixing these bottleneck issues. We're fixing these friction points of annoyance in traditional payments. And if you don't think that current payments are completely messed up and that the way that currencies currently work is just dumb, stupid, dull, idiocy, I can name a couple of other buzzwords. Just take a look at this. A little while ago, things have started to go down, all right? Brics leaders agreed to expand the alliance. Who's joining? Well, apparently, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE are all going to be joining the Brics alliance January 1st, 2024. And by that notion, it's basically making it the next big superpower. And I'm kind of getting excited for it because finally, I guess the US has started to take, or at least has got to start taking them seriously. Putin a little while ago said they're going to abandon the US dollar and settle trade in local currency. And take a look at the announcement that just came out a little bit ago. Apparently the BRICS has now officially decided to abandon the US dollar for trade settlements. And I just want you guys to realize from that perspective that the time of these traditional, the US dollar is the world reserve currency, just buy United States stocks, you're going to be fine, just buy it, might be closer to over. And there is a little elephant in the room, which is me stating that the US is on a spiral downwards or battle. What am I exactly trying to say? Let's say this. I think the US has many amazing points. I think it's one of the countries where you can really work yourself up from the bottom to the absolute top of the top. Even their tax system is incredible in some ways, even though it's kind of scary. But we gotta admit that the way which they've been approaching things is just stupid, dumb, and it's taking their country down. You guys all know I've been to America a few times. Not from there, but I've been there. And even though the food was great, all right? Yeah, there is so much garbage going on over there. And other countries are trying to basically use that pressure that the US has internally to destroy them from the outside too. And please understand, I am also saying that the inside is screwed. Take a look at this article. If this doesn't make your blood boil, then I don't know what to tell you. The US SEC, who we usually call out to be a dumbass agency, but now they're actually doing the right thing, supposedly. The US SEC charges a former police lieutenant over a crypto scam. Now, what did this guy do? Apparently, John A. DeSalvo, douchebag, a former lieutenant at the New Jersey Department of Corrections, is said to have created a crypto scam targeting fellow police officers. He stole, apparently, reportedly, nearly $600,000 from 250 people. And the long story short is he basically had a token, right, that was supposed to give firefighters, paramedics, and policemen a return on their investment by replacing the current state pension system. And in my opinion, guys, if you do this, these type of crypto gymnastics, whatever, acrobatics, to people that are in crypto that know what they're doing, that's one thing, right? You create a meme token and people buy it, that's one thing. But you fake your way, oh man, this type of stuff. I'm not sure why this gives crypto a bad name, rather than just the freaking fraudsters, literally. Just people that try to commit fraud and things of that sort. I mean, if you start reading the full story, this guy is dark, man. And I don't think, and that's also a funny thing, I don't think the SEC has the proper tools just quite yet because they've been sitting on their ass to take these people down properly. Take a look at how long everything's taken with Sam Bankman-Fried, because I personally don't think this guy should ever step outside. Of course, I don't make the rules. Personally, if you scam these people, we're not talking about some kids that were doing too much on the internet. The way I've been reading it, this is actual, like, fraud. But in my opinion, specifically to this group of people, you know, you're worse than scum. You're like below the dirt. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, to liven it up a little, the entire market is down also, right? No, there's no way to live this up because right now we're 2.50% down. The best performer, absolute best, right? The top of the top. Okay, this just changed. This just now changed because I took a look at this like a minute or five ago and this one wasn't there. So, yeah, it probably just ended the top 100. I want to say the best performer was up like 0.7% 5 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago when I looked the last time. Worst performer is Pepe, 15% down, now roughly 12%, 7% over the hour. Not doing too well. And now that we're keeping it on the schlammers, right? Let's also talk slightly about this. John Deaton is saying there have been honorable SEC officials like Mark Fagel who eliminated potential appearances of impropriety or conflicts of interest by not owning individual stocks, crypto, etc. He then basically goes on to share that even the idea of somebody doing something wrong or potentially being close to something like that, let me just explain it better. All right, but not everybody does follow the same path, especially at senior levels such as director, commissioner, or chairman. Conflicts of interest must be taken very seriously. The financial criminal conflict bar makes it a violation of the statute if a member allows even an appearance of impropriety. That's how serious conflicts of interest are to be taken. Public trust is everything, and once the public doesn't trust their own regulator, the cop on the beat, the system has failed. And that's exactly what's going on right now. We have pointed this out a lot, which is why the investigations are ongoing against the SEC, which is why we're so adamant about getting Hinman in some sort of trouble. That's the best way I can put it. Getting some better investigations into the guys over at Ethereum with Consensus, potentially Jay Clayton, potentially Gary Gensler, with Sam Bankman-Fried. But it's so strange that nobody seems to care anymore. Why are the rules so clear? And is it all so harsh and very serious when it comes to every issue outside of the crypto space? I really do wonder about that. Haven't you guys also noticed? The SEC is busy with so much, except on the internal. And that's kind of the way I see it, a little defense mechanism of, okay, if we just keep focusing on all these things that do not matter, nobody that has enough authority will actually come and question us because we look busy. Isn't that kind of the way it's been going? They just sue here, sue there without a plan, but they look like they're doing a good job. And John is basically going over the full exposing rant here, explaining why there was potentially some conflict of interest and why it should deserve some more attention here. As we refer back to this, still an open question, why wasn't it appropriate to investigate Jay Clayton's financial interest when he filed the XRP lawsuit on his last day and then immediately was hired by a hedge fund that made a $1 billion bet on rival tokens 3 months earlier? This goes some years back, this specific issue, but still the question at hand is, why is this all so strange? And I'm just putting these things up sometimes so people don't forget. Again, we've been damaged so much throughout the last couple of years. You guys, see a little fly. Now I'm in for a dilemma, you know? Am I going to go catch that fly, mosquito, whatever it was? Or do I accept my fate of it just being annoying? I will accept it for right now. I wanted to say, we have been hurt so much over the last couple of years by the SEC. Unfairly so, you and I both know it. And you want to know the most funny part of it all? They won't apologize. They'll even spit and laugh in your face. Why? Well, because from an ethical perspective, no investigation, right? They're trying to change their mind, the SEC, time and time again about what their actual complaint is. When they're on the edge of losing, they change it again. When they're on the edge of losing, they try to change it again. They're now not even claiming XRP itself as security anymore because they know it's just that stupid. But as I said, from the ethics perspective, nothing is happening against them. From this perspective, they just now are trying to say, you know what? There was one judge that disagreed with you, and we agree with him. It's just a revert the blame, you know, push the blame further and further away and go on like that forever type of game the SEC's been playing. And sometimes, just sometimes, I think where we would have been had the SEC never stepped in. On one end, I'm thinking, well, right now we've got the clarity. And it could actually still be that this was all in Ripple's favor, as right now they've got the clarity before anybody else. They're the only properly regulated crypto. And so even though it took 3 years of an advantage off, right, where JP Morgan, all these guys had time to build, perhaps that was actually the big thing behind it. Maybe BlackRock and whatever decided a lot of these major cryptos at the top should be feared a little bit more, should be shut down, but they didn't have enough power for Ethereum. They do have enough power for that. So they wanted to shake down XRP first, and perhaps they thought that XRP would be an easy one so they could just roll through to the next and next and next. But, well, Ripple was a little bit more resilient than expected. Like I was trying to say, though, It could be that this was really amazing from Ripple's perspective, that they wanted this to get partnerships, even though there was some delay, partnerships going now quicker than ever, better than ever, meaning they've been talking with these contracts saying, hey, we're going to go on a roll, we're going to go crazy, unless XRP is deemed a security. Fine, right? But then from this point forward, they can now start working on it. It just takes a couple of months to really roll those in. It could also be that Ripple, because of the SEC's new pressure, is not announcing any new ODL type of accelerations or new starts anymore, because they just want to be careful with the way the SEC approaches that. I've been thinking about that for a long time. You got to also realize for yourself for a little second that 3 years in crypto is long, right? Because in reality, right, in a normal person's age, right, I've aged at least 15 years in the last 3 years in crypto. Why? Well, because this stuff is stressful. It's a lot, all right? Anything I think to do with financials like this, where the prices go up 20% in a day, 80% in a day, down 50% in a day. Yeah, it gets you gray hair. I paint my hair black now. You know, it's freaking great. That's not actually true, but you understand the notion, right? Because crypto's a mad space. Oh, my days. I can't even imagine how long 3 years in crypto is in real human years. And so from an XRP perspective, John just pointed out where XRP was at basically before all this happened on a Coinbase perspective, and how, for example, Coinbase could have done so much with XRP as well, as they were very late to list it initially after some rigorous, thorough investigations. When they did, the SEC still told them to take it off, which, again, they never had to do because, well, take a look at Uphold. They kept it on. It was all fine. And, yeah, a lot of others. If you start thinking about it, Coinbase took away this big rant of, hey, XRP is going to take over cross-border payments, move money around the world with XRP, all that type of yada, yada, yada. We even had MoneyGram, which indeed also stopped their partnership with Ripple due to the SEC's complaint. Sometimes it's just interesting to kind of think back on that. Can we call it corruption? What exactly is going on in the background? We do not know. We can only speculate. Will the SEC be sued for damages or something like that eventually? I wonder. Many people ask me, can the SEC be sued? And many people have told me, yes, they can, but. And these buts are the issue. I personally think eventually a class action of sorts, some sort of lawsuit, will be filed against the SEC. But you also got to understand that the moment that this is going to happen, it has to be very secure, very serious, and somebody has to take on the freaking government, which is, it's not so nice. And I'd say people are just waiting for a couple of things to be finalized, but probably some sort of counter action, I think, right? Personal thoughts is coming. I mean, from one perspective, they are already trying to look into how exactly to hold the SEC accountable for all their internal conflicts. It's not been, I guess, perfectly executed just quite yet. But we're seeing more and more entities now also starting to pick up the pace and noticing that this is all BS. And if you're wondering, by the way, why crypto's going down, stock market's going down, it's pretty simple. I'd say pretty self-explanatory. Every single time it happens the same fashion. Yesterday was a pretty good day, even though some politically wise bad things happened or strange things happened. But today, indeed, bad day all across the board. And so most likely crypto is following the same fate for that reason. Apparently, though, I've been reading about that, all the currencies are also not in a good spot. I mean, it's, I'd say, quite logical if the US dollar is not in a good position right now because of what we just read with Brics. But hey, that's it for right now. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this little update, little video. I'll be looking around the interwebs to see if some of the crazy is going on. And honestly, guys, as I've said, not too many videos because I've not been feeling too well. And there's not been anything too critically important to get some sort of breaking news update going. Otherwise, even if I'm behind with some tube in my freaking ear and nose or whatever, on a hospital bed, I'll get you guys that breaking news update. Don't you fret. That's why I always tell people have the notification on, because I'm going to do anything it takes to get you breaking news in the craziest amount of seconds in a good way, right? As quick as possible. But right now, nothing too important. Oh, BlackRock this. No, it doesn't matter. These are all speculation or pieces that won't actually affect the price too much. It won't do anything too crazy. But this is happening with the lawyers and the... Yo, one thing that was pretty cool was Ripple was saying, hey, potentially they might be going for a trial at the end of next year. But that's just Ripple saying they're available at that point. If some new dates are scheduled or something like that, I'll tell you as well. I've been looking through so much stuff. I've still, again, I always tell you guys, just follow my likes over on Twitter. Don't take everything too serious. I might like something that is a little bit crazy. I don't know. But for the most part, that's just me looking through news and, you know, kind of keeping up with it. And as you can see, there's many cool pieces, but nothing too critically important. Yeah, that's it.